not criticizing the woke left. Now let me get to the harder part. There's a different vision of American identity that's emergent in certain corridors of the online right. And it says that your identity as an American is based on your lineage. That how long you have been in the country, your lineage and your genetics tied to the blood and soil of the country determines how American you are. It is the idea of a heritage American that says the truest form of an American is somebody who is a descendant of the American Revolution period or before. And I will tell you, this idea of the heritage American, we ought to have this discussion. It's becoming more popular. I think the idea of a heritage American is about as loony as anything the woke left has actually put up. There is no American who is more American than somebody else. The American quality, it's not like the left, they believe in this non-binary stuff. There's no non-binary American. It is binary. Either you're an American or you're not. And you think about it, I could prove this to you. Thank you. I'll take some applause on that. If you really believe in this idea, think about where it leads you. It leads you to believe that Donald Trump is less of an American than Joe Biden because Donald Trump's mother was an immigrant and his grandfather was an immigrant. That doesn't make any sense. Leads you to believe that somehow Bernie Sanders is more of an American than Senator Bernie Moreno from my home state, an America First patriot, because Bernie Moreno was a naturalized citizen from Colombia. It makes you think that Marco Rubio, our great Secretary of State, is somehow less of an American than Elizabeth Warren because she's a Native American, which we all know, right? Doesn't make any sense. It's loony. It's crazy talk. It makes you believe that somehow I am less of an American than the transgender criminal who assassinated Charlie Kirk. We refuse to accept that. The idea that a heritage American is any more American than another American is un-American at its core. And I will fight to the very end for that because that's what it means to be an American. We believe in ideals. That is who we are.
Welcome to the J.J. Carrell Show. We are not a nation of ideals. God, I'm so tired of the propaganda bull crap that I've had to deal with my whole entire life. Trying to shed it all off me from being in education and being in government and listening to these people that we're an ideal. We're an idea. We're not a geographical place. We're just an idea. And hell, anybody come in. My name's Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm from India. My mother came over here as an H-1B. My father came over as an H-1B as well. He never naturalized. My mother naturalized after I was already born. But I'm as American as you are, JJ. Go to hell, Vivek. You're not American like me. You're not yeah, there's levels of American. You know what it is? It's people that are Americans, and there are people like you that are not. In the title of my show, Vivek is an illegal alien. Let's walk through this, shall we? If I'm going to be intellectually honest and fair, which I am, and I've said this about Mr. Perez from the country of Peru, and now he's an illegal alien anchor baby, overstay that he's a congressman in California. If I'm going to talk about Dalia Ramirez, the very proud Guatemalan illegal alien, Democrat, then I'm going to talk about someone that's trying to be a Republican governor named Vivek Ramaswamy, who is an illegal alien. Let me play this out for you. And we're going to have to assume that the guy that's speaking right now that has done this immigration bit for over 2.5, 3 decades knows what the hell I'm talking about when I talk about the 14th Amendment and birthright citizenship. It doesn't exist. It's a lie. So if you could just play along that the guy that's done this for about 3 decades knows what the hell he's talking about. Vivek Ramaswamy was born on American soil. Yes, I agree with that. But he was born to 2 legal immigrants. One was on an H-1B, and I believe his father was too, and then became a naturalized citizen. His mother became a lapper, a legal permanent resident, and his mother became a U.S. citizen after she gave birth to Vivek. So that means Vivek Ramaswamy was born under the jurisdiction thereof, which is the second prong to being being a U.S. citizen. Born in America and born under the jurisdiction thereof. Meaning, he was born in America, great, but he was born under the jurisdiction of India. And nowhere do I find, and he's even been asked, and I'll show you a video shortly, that he's never naturalized. He's not here on a visa because he claims that he's an American. Vivek, you're not American. You're an anchor baby. That's what you are. You're an illegal alien anchor baby. I want him deported. Just like I want Dolly Ramirez and Mr. Perez, I want them all, and I want them deported. Why in God's name are we allowing people that are foreigners to be in positions of authority and power and govern our nation? Why? How in the hell did this happen? Vivek Ramaswamy gets in front of, that was Turning Point USA. You see how big that crowd was? Try to, if Charlie Kirk was alive, try to sell that piece of crap. That, well, this America is about ideals and ideas. And you're either American or you're not. Yeah, I agree with that. You are American or you're not. But you, sir, you don't just to get to swear an oath to my country and become part of my country, and all of a sudden you have more skin in the game than I do? Well, where the hell have you and all the immigrants been? Where are they? How long you been in my country? That's like the New England Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. At the very, very end, their kicker pulls their hamstring and they gotta sign a kicker. And the kicker comes in, kicks a couple extra points, they win the Super Bowl, and he says, absolutely, Super Bowl winner. There's no difference between me and Tom Brady. No difference between me and Teddy Bruschi. Nope. We're all the Patriots. We're all Patriots. You are Patriots and you won the Super Bowl. But there are levels of Patriots. Tom Brady has way more skin in the game than you do, sir. Does that mean I shun the kicker? Does that mean I shun the Chinese or the Cambodian immigrant that came here legally and did everything and swore an oath and became a citizen? No, absolutely. I'm going to give you the absolute respect. I'm going to look at you as if you're an American. American to American. But at the same time, I can look at you and say, as much as I love that you are an American, you're created businesses and I love you, you're not going to be in our government. No, you're not. I don't trust that everybody that's coming here is under good faith and they're going to have allegiance to the United States of America. And if you do believe that, you're a moron. Look at our country. This isn't me sitting here theorizing, oh, well, this happens and that might happen. I really think that'll happen. No, I'm showing you. This happened and they're in our government right now destroying it. This isn't like, I wonder if it's happening. It's happening, you idiots. Look at it. And you got Vivek Ramaswamy sitting up there at Turning Point USA trying to tell me what an American is. I have an illegal alien telling me what the hell American is. Just like when I testified in front of Congress, sitting up on the stage, on the dais, was this fat, obese Guatemalan illegal alien named Dolly Ramirez telling me that I'm a racist, telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about on illegal immigration. I have an illegal alien chastising me. I got an illegal alien on the stage of Turning Point USA trying to tell me what the hell an American is. Have you had enough, America? Have you had enough? I have two videos that I want to show you of two different, not different so much, but just a different tone than I take, describing Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek. Number one, Vivek. Here in America, we use American names. Let me just go one step further, Nick, before I show this video. What if J.J. Carrell moved to India? I've been to India. It is a grotesque, nasty, godforsaken hellhole. There are probably, their estimate of at least 100 million people a day defecate outside. I have never been in a place that has been as vile. I was in Tanzania, Africa, on dirt roads. That was like being in La Jolla, California, compared to Cochin, India. I have never been so overwhelmed by noise. I have never been so overwhelmed by the feeling of congestion. I have never been overwhelmed by smells that pungent. I have never been overwhelmed by the saturated air that was polluted to beyond anything you can imagine. I have never seen water that disgusting in my life. But what if I moved to India and I became a naturalized Indian? And then I stood up before all the Indians and said, yeah, man, I was an Indian. I'm an Indian now as of yesterday. Let me tell you what it means to be an Indian. How fast do I get feces thrown at me? Like fresh, right? Pooped in their hand, feces. Immediately. Would I deserve it? Absolutely, I would deserve it. Let's say I moved to Germany, another first world white nation, and I did the exact same thing. I would be chased out of Germany because I don't know what it means to be German. I may be a German citizen, but I have no idea. And you know what I would do? I would do something that Vivek Ramaswamy's been unable to do, is I would shut my mouth. And I would assimilate into that culture. Then maybe my son, who would be a first generation, second generation German, and then maybe he can enter into German politics. He has a stake. He has more skin in the game than I do. But illegal alien from India telling me about what an American is? Some illegal alien telling me that America, citizenship, being American is some bullshit ideas and ideals? No. We are a geographic territory that we had blood spilled for. This is our land. We are more than ideals. We are more than ideas. That's a fantasy. That is what you tell someone when you want to believe in unicorns and rainbows. We are forged into a nation by a thing called a Declaration of Independence. We are forged by the Constitution. We are forged not by your Hindu or whatever the hell you believe in India. We are formed under the protection of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. That's where we are Americans. And Vivek, you're not. Let's listen to this guy talk about Vivek being a fraud, number 2.
So I want to break down Vivek's op-ed and his speech and the idea behind it. But first, I need to talk a little bit about Vivek the man. Because those of you who kind of know who Vivek is because you've seen him on cable news or some podcast, and you say to yourself, wow, he says a lot of buzzwords that I really like. He's an interesting guy. I think I like him. I think I agree with him. He seems friendly. He seems patriotic. That's probably how your relationship to Vivek Ramaswamy is. You know a little bit about him, but not a ton. You've seen him say and repeat the same buzzwords over and over again on a number of cable shows and podcasts, but they're only skin deep. They're not a real thought piece where he says something you say, wow, oh my God, I've never thought of that before. Vivek doesn't offer that. You know, you need to understand something too. My dear listeners need to understand about Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek is the Nigerian prince of the Republican Party, promising you money and riches if you just give him your social security number, your mother's maiden name, and your name of your very first pet. He is a scam artist to his core. He is a liar. He is someone who has definitely perpetuated falsehoods on voters and on Republicans. And I need to bring it up to you because I've seen a number of politicians who lie, who fib. I brought up a couple of them in the past. Vivek is one of the worst, who is not yet a politician, not yet an elected politician, but is trying very, very hard. Let's start at the beginning. Vivek, for all his comments about how someone becomes an American and is an American, was not born to American citizens. His mother and father were here on work visas. She did not take a test, as Vivek said, to show how much she agreed with the ideology of the founding fathers or colorblind meritocracy or the free market. She just got a job and had a baby, and that baby got citizenship. That's all it was. There was no further reasoning or belief system behind it that Vivek says what is an American. 2 points worth noting. Vivek oftentimes lies in interviews about his parents' origin story. During presidential debate, he said that they came to this country with nothing, but they came to this country with a work visa, and his father was an engineer and his mother was a doctor. So pump the brakes on that, idea of rags to riches.
And I want to show you another video of another guy's take on Vivek. Nick, if you can please start it at marker 54 seconds. So this young man's listening to Vivek talk about it, giving his speech, and this guy's going to remark on it. And I just found his take to be unique, and I liked it. So I want to share it with you. Go ahead and play this, please, Nick.
What's really loony is the fact that an anchor baby like Vivek Ramaswamy, who wouldn't even be a citizen in the United States if we ended birthright citizenship, has the audacity to say that a heritage American isn't important at all. And you know what the main difference between you, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump are? Trump and Biden actually had parents that were born in the United States. Both of your parents only came to the United States on work visas. Joe Biden was a senator in 1970. John G. Trump was helping Nikola Tesla back in the 50s. So these are American men, whether you agree or disagree with them. Vivek's a guest, and he should be grateful that he's in this country. This country was built by white European men. I don't remember living under a constitution that was founded by Indians. The ancestors of real heritage Americans risked their lives to make sure that we have a free country today. And your response is to say that's crazy talk. So every other country is allowed to have their culture and have their nation, but America's not. Real heritage Americans aren't going to accept this behavior, and you're lucky that we're not calling for you to go home. At this point, Vivek's given me no choice but to campaign against him in this Ohio governor race.
He's not going to win. Nick Fuentes and the Groypers already went after him. He lost like 30 points after that speech. Vivek Ramaswamy is an illegal alien. Of all the news outlets to press him on this issue, you think it was Fox News? Get real. Fox News is garbage. They're so middle of the road milquetoast. But here's somebody from NBC pushes Vivek Ramaswamy about being an anchor baby. Watch this. This is unbelievable.
I believe in being consistent about my policies where...
So your father is not a citizen of the United States?
He's not.
Okay. And your mother, when did your mom take the citizenship test? Was it before or after you were born?
After I was born.
After you were born. Okay.
After years of being in this, following the legal process of becoming a naturalized citizen, she followed it through the legal process. And
so
I think
you gained citizenship through birthright then?
Well, but you gain citizenship through birthright citizenship in that sense too, right? I mean, every American. So what I want to do is revive a vision of citizenship where every kid who enjoys.
I'm sorry, just to backtrack. So your father is not a citizen.
They came to this country legally. I believe in being consistent about my policies.
I don't need Vivek Ramaswamy to redefine American citizenship to fit your narrative of being an illegal alien. And no, Vivek, with your stupid hair. What's with his hair? Maybe we can start there, Vivek. Why don't we comb that pompadour down? See, that never really was in place here in America. Maybe it's in Calcutta, India. I don't know. Maybe that's the style. But see, here, we don't do that, Vivek. And when an illegal alien tries to tell me that this is what citizenship is, I tell you to go pound sand. And then you have the audacity to look at that white lady that's obviously been born here in America and say, well, you got citizenship the same way as I did. Birthright. No, Vivek. We didn't get birthright citizenship because that doesn't exist. That's bullshit. And you're too smart to not know that. And I know you're a smart guy. You're at least smart enough to regurgitate crap I'll get into maybe another day of all of your business dealings that are, even for a guy just starting looking into it, is dubious at best. Dubious at best. Criminal at worst. But we'll just focus right now on you being an illegal alien. You have to be born under the jurisdiction of the United States of America. And your two Indian parents, they all the props in the world, they came here legally. But that's a prerequisite. I don't understand why you're a champion that your parents didn't cross the Rio Grande and get wet and then came here. I don't really give a crap. That's the prerequisite to just be a normal immigrant. So I shouldn't be here applauding your parents because they did what they were supposed to do, Vivek. But you had two parents came under as work visas. Never in the 14th Amendment does two people come in here on work visas decide to drop a baby and it's a U.S. citizen. That's not the 14th Amendment. It's an affront. It's an embarrassment. It's an insult to Black Americans, African, real African, not the fantasy African Americans we have here roaming around, but true freaking Africans that came to America as slaves and their children were granted citizenship, and they should have been. That's the 14th Amendment. Do you know who wasn't given citizenship in the 14th Amendment and had to get it later in other amendments? Do you know who didn't? The Native American Indians. So we get the 14th Amendment, and our leaders at that time passed the 14th Amendment, giving blacks and black slaves and black slave children citizenship, denies Native American Indians, and yet, I'm supposed to believe that in that amendment, they were in their brain when they did the 14th Amendment, said, you know what? I really want Guatemalans that come over and they can dump their baby on the dirty border trail. They're U.S. citizens. Hey, if two Indians come over on work visas and give birth to some guy named Vivek, he's a U.S. citizen. Are you actually going to try to sell me that pile of crap? I've read the guy that wrote this, the senator. I just wrote an article in Substack about it. And when you begin to read not only the words that they put into law, but you begin to read their documented explanations of the law, there's not even any wiggle room at all. The idea that we have cheapened our citizenship to mean nothing, to have no value, is such a grand insult. It's so insulting. Look at what we've done to our country. Look at what we have sold our country to third worlders for nothing. Nothing. And those same third worlders now are trying to and have successfully determined what citizenship is. I have an illegal alien with some screwed up haircut, and in other interviews he was given, he wasn't wearing shoes and socks. He was going to his native Indian roots and had his feet barefoot. Barefoot. I'm not going to listen to an illegal alien tell me about what America citizenship is and what being American is. I won't stand here and I won't take it. Vivek will never win that governorship. Nope. Not. America's had it. Of all the X posts this weekend that I put out, two went viral, exploded. You know what the two were? First one was the obese lesbian non-firefighter in New York is going to be the New York City fire chief. And I said, look at the fat obese lesbian. She's highly qualified. Man, did all of the LGBTQ insane asylum freaks just tried to crush me on my DMs and replies. You know what the other one was that went like uber viral on my social, on my X? Is when I questioned Vivek Ramaswamy and said he's an illegal alien. Exploded. exploded with people that were like, hell yeah, thank you for saying the truth. And other people that actually were trying to convince me that the 14th Amendment covers an illegal alien Indian. There are times I have hope. Most of the time, I do not have any hope for America because we have been propagandized. We have been dumbed down so much in our public education, in our education throughout, that we have no idea what the hell is even in this Constitution. And to be quite honest, I don't even know what the Constitution means anymore. It has been bastardized. It has been destroyed. It has been ignored. It is a frustrating time in America. So I want you to be prepared. And I've talked about this every day on my show because they are a proud sponsor of my show. And I love their product, and that's sat123.com. You must be prepared. You do not, and I've said this over and over again, you do not need to be prepared in the way that I am. You don't need to see the world through the lens of a guy that's been doing law enforcement for almost 3 decades. I understand that. I understand that I see things very, very differently than other Americans. But one thing that I think we can all agree on, though, is that we are in unprecedented times in American history. We can also agree that no one, right, left, or center, no one feels secure and safe. That's the truth. If you do feel that way, and I know you do because many of you have contacted me and told me exactly this, what I just said, then you need to be prepared physically, spiritually, emotionally. And one way to be prepared, in my eyes, and this is how I use sat123.com, is I have ballistic backpacks for my family. I have a generator with solar panels. I have Faraday packs. I have a Starlink for when the internet goes down. I want connectability. I may never need any of it. I pray that I never do. But the common sense side of me says you're going to need it. So I have it. Just go to the website. Just go to the website, check it out. sat123.com. And if you decide to purchase something, throw the promo code JJ, sat123.com/JJ, and be prepared. I want to show you the difference between Vivek Ramaswamy, legal alien, and a gentleman by the name of Royce White. Royce White is an American, Vivek. This is American. This is a man with absolute skin in the game. He's running for senator in Minnesota. I played yesterday Miss Peggy, I forget what was her last name, Peggy the Pig. The hijab wearing, trans kids need to be taken care of to kill, and we need to kill all the right wingers. LGBTQ insane Karen. That's who he's running against. This Vivek is an American. And I want you to think about what Vivek stated and how he stated versus this man. And tell me if there's just a slight difference between an illegal alien from India trying to be an American being an absolute alpha American. Play this, please.
Across the entirety of human history, the Charnel House of history, freedom is a luxury. Freedom is a luxury.
Sure.
It's a desire, it's an aspiration, it's a hope, it's a founding belief of our American values, but it's a luxury throughout history. And people crave convenience. On my show on Saturday mornings, I always, in the intro, I say, convenience will be the death of freedom. People crave convenience. And although tyranny can manifest in harsh ways and be scary and be uncertain, tyranny ultimately does abnegate the responsibility of the citizen. So in that way, even tyranny can become a modality of convenience. It's convenient to give my freedom to a tyrannical state. And if you look at the trajectory of American society and culture, everything that we do and the way that we participate and the way we've sold out to special interests and lobbies and politicians who lie to us, everything we do suggests that we talk about freedom, but we deeply crave tyranny.
Yeah, but clearly that's convenient for whom? Like,
well, that is the question, sir.
Well, I mean,
who is it convenient for?
Well, obviously the Somali American citizen who got detained wrongfully, it's not convenient for him.
It's convenient for the Somali community as a whole.
For him to be detained unlawfully? For
the government to be bigger than it's supposed to be because they accept the subsidies. You don't get one without the other. It's the same as the Black community. You don't get, the same people who said the entire system is guilty when George Floyd died somehow believe that the infinite expansion of the federal government through federal programs and subsidies is going to shrink the power of that system. Now, you tell me how that squares. If I say the whole system is guilty and inherently white supremacist, then why would I give that same system more money and more power?
So what do you?
I'll tell you why. I'll give them more money and more power if I think it benefits me.
What do you propose then as a use?
If I think the social welfare programs and the grift about roads and hospitals and infrastructure, or the expansion of the military industrial complex and our power around the world, or even the US dollar as our number one export, the economic and monetary system itself. If I think that the net aggregate of all those things is a benefit to me, then the government can have as much power as they want. And I'll vote for any politician who's willing to puppet the propaganda and tell me what I want to hear versus what I need to hear. And in that way, American society has become a nation full of cucks. We love our government fucking us. We love getting fucked over. We complain about it. We have opinions about it on social media. But deep down, if you look at the net result of how we participate as citizens, we love getting fucked by our government and our politicians. It seems like we almost crave it because we talk about it, but we're not willing to get involved and do the work. We're not willing to call foul where it really needs to be. The Somali community has to acknowledge, if we're going to give the American government all of these broad powers because of government subsidies and programs, and we're going to take the money, when the government decides to get a little tyrannical, ain't much we can do about it. We got to sit back and roll with the punches.
I feel like a lot of people will disagree with you, especially.
You can disagree if you want, but look at the results.
I can listen to that guy talk all day. And it's rare for me to be like, you know what? This guy is not only intelligent, but he has wisdom, and he sees things the way I see them, but he's articulating them just a little bit slightly different than me from his personal experience. And I'm going to learn from him. Those are rare moments for me. Is there a little difference between the way he speaks and the way Vivek Ramaswamy speaks? Who are you going to go to war with? Who are you going to throw an M4 on, your vest, your Kevlar helmet, and you're going to go to war for America? You're going to go with little Vivek, little tiny Vivek Ramaswamy, or Royce White? That's easy. I'm going Royce White. No, I'm not going to. Are you kidding me? I'm going to go to war with this guy that's trying to tell me America's an idea, or this guy that knows exactly why America's fucked up? I'm going to go with that guy, because that guy will kill his way out with me. Vivek is going to try to talk. He's going to be in the fetal position crying, or he's going to run back to India as fast as he possibly can, because he has a home base. And see, my home base is this country, and I'm not going to give it up. Or I'm not going to give it up without a fight. America is on the precipice of exploding. America's dying. I talked about this yesterday. America's dying. And there are going to be some explosions along the way. And in those explosive moments in our history, we are either going to self-correct and fight our way out of death, or we're going to slide faster and faster into a cesspool of dark, dark death. Nick Fuentes talks about this, and I love how he articulates it. That's why I'm going to have it on my show, because I want my audience to hear his articulation of where we're at and what is about to happen to America.
America's a sleeping giant. And this is why we want to wake up the country. The country's furious. There's anger. There's so much potential energy in the country. And all it's going to take, watch. It's going to be a crisis. It'll be maybe a mass casualty event, economic meltdown, World War III will pop off, whether it's in the Taiwan Strait or it's in Iran or it's, but the war is coming. All of these things are hurtling towards us. And then it's going to explode and a sleeping giant will wake up. America will wake up. And I just hope that we have a benevolent tyrant. I just hope that whoever that tyrant is, whoever emerges, whether it will be of the left or of the right, I just hope that tyrant will be benevolent, because that's kind of the last card that we have to play here. It's like, what if everything blew up and some forceful warlord seized power, like we're at French Revolution levels of chaos and dysfunction, the late Tsarist Russia levels of dysfunction. That's clearly where this is headed. And by the way, I don't say this because I want that to happen. I don't say this because I think that will be good. I think it will be horrifying. And I think it's preventable. But Trump was the opportunity to stop all this, and it didn't happen. So I say that with great sadness and wariness, but I feel like that's where we're headed. I've been telling you that.
He's right. We have great energy, great potential, but no one likes to talk about potential because we want to deal with facts. We're heading into economic destruction. We are heading into war. We're heading into mass casualty events, or all three of these, or more. And he is right about this. And that's one of the reasons why I played it, because I talk about this quite a bit. Is when the pendulum swings back, if it does, and I believe it will, it's going to destroy everything in its wake. Meaning when it goes swinging back to the right, the hard right, you got to understand that pendulum is all the way tipped right now on the left. It's the highest point on the pendulum. So it's not like at the bottom, a little bit off center. It's going to just swing a little bit. No, it's at the top of the left side, the insane left. And it's going to swing. And when it drops, that force, that pendulum is going to swing all the way to the right. It's going to ping the right. And when it does, there's going to be a dictator. He may not identify himself as a dictator or present himself as a dictator, but he will become a dictator because history shows that, especially when a country is so jacked up, has so many things wrong with it, so much corruption that you have to burn it to the ground. And then it has to rise up. Something's going to rise from the ashes. And there's going to be too much power, too much wealth to ignore. Somebody's going to step up. It's going to be somebody angry, somebody that's going to be resentful. He's going to be charismatic, and he's going to want justice. And like Fuentes said, I don't know if it's going to be on the left or the right. History shows the right. But history's also shown people on the right have a propensity, have a visceral reaction to having their lives destroyed. And when they want justice and revenge, it will come at the end of a knife, a gun, or a fist. And it will be bloody and it will be miserable. And like Fuentes, I don't want to see it. But also like Fuentes, we are not idiots. It's not a theoretical anymore. We are living in it. You can be on a little enclave, a little bubble, and well, it's not happening to me. It's not happening to you yet. Our inner cities are crumbling. The state of California has been already proven that they have stolen $75 billion. They are teetering on collapse. There's $60 billion in the debt. They stole $75 billion and counting. What happens when the massive metropolitan areas, cities, counties, and states of blue politicians begin to crumble, do you think they're all going to stay there and just die together? Or do you think they're going to spread across America like roaches? You don't have to not like Nick Fuentes. You don't have to like Andrew Tate. You don't have to like Tucker Carlson. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like any of us. But you're damn well going to have to listen. You don't have to listen now. You don't have to listen a year from now. But you're going to hear us talk. And eventually you're going to go, damn it, those guys were right. Unfortunately, they were right. One thing that I have in my house that I use and I use as a sponsor is that's my pillow. Number one, I love Mike Lindell. Incredible story coming from drug addiction to creating and owning an incredible business where he makes products for Americans by American hands in America and sells it to us Americans. What a unique idea. And I wouldn't promote his product if his product sucked. His product is amazing. I use his pillows. I have 15, 16, 17 pillows throughout my house and all my bedrooms. Insane, I know. We have my wife wears the robes, the slippers. We have sheets on our bed from My Pillow. We have towels. We have it all. Go to mypillow.com and use my promo code JJ because it will give you incredible savings. mypillow.com, promo code JJ. Buy American, buy an incredible product made in America by a man that created a great company, Mike Lindell. mypillow.com and use my promo code JJ. I don't like this next segment, Nick, that I'm going to talk about. I don't like it. And what I'm going to talk about is why are we sending all of our foreign money, our time, talent, and treasure to foreign nations, to foreign illegal aliens in America as our cities crumble? Not we have a little infrastructure problem where our major cities are infested with crime, infested with poverty, infested with corruption. Let's just go walk down. I don't have the time to show you one fallen city after another. I have a city that's fallen that's just a couple, maybe about 40 miles from me to the north, Kansas City, Missouri. One of the top murder, violent crime places in America. Democrat city, Democrat mayor, chief of police, Democrat city council, Democrat heads of departments, majority all black, massive, massive black on black gang crime, massive. Forbid my wife to go down there without me. And if I go, I have to carry my weapon. And if we go, it's going to have to be like very, very, very specific. And we're going to need to go in and get out. And I'm not that type of man. I don't tell my wife really what to do much, to be honest, quite honest with you. She's a smart lady. But I have forbidden her. She was down there with my son after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. 2 years ago? They had the shooting. Random. Two stupid black gangs were just shooting their guns at each other. We're not talking about Navy SEALs dialed in with their M4s. I'm talking about ghetto trash gang members shooting over their head as they run like animals. Killed 2 people, injured multiple other ones. My son and my wife were standing in the exact same spot 5 minutes earlier. By the grace of God, they're not there. Our cities are crumbling because our government does not care about the American citizen, period. Let's start with the first one. Detroit. This is what Detroit looks like in 2025. Go ahead, Nick, play. That goes on forever. There is reports that there are so many abandoned homes and buildings in Detroit that it would take almost 50 years going 24 hours a day, every single day, ripping them down. That's how many they are. Detroit used to be the highest average income in the United States of America. Higher than LA, higher than New York. Detroit. Don't worry, NAFTA, that's going to solve everything. Allowing everything to happen in Japan and China and Mexico and Canada. Let's just ship all our crap all over the world. And let's screw the American person, the American citizen. Why not? Right, Vivek? It's just an idea. It's just an idea. Let's go to Oakland. Dear God. Dear God. What? This is Oakland. Go ahead.
This is what used to be a children's playground. This is Fallout 3.
Not necessarily child-proof anymore. So you guys understand, I've been to so many places at this point. I'm starting to lose my emotional sensitivity to what's going on here a little bit. I don't really know how to react anymore because at this point, it's all starting to blend.
I mean, this car is floating right now.
Whoa.
What's going on?
That is crazy. All right, let's take a look at this. You guys are about to have your mind blown. Hey, what up? Where are we at right now?
We're in Oakland, California.
Okay, I just saw this car levitating. That's why I walked over here. Are we in the park right now?
This is a park.
Okay. Does the city come out here and say, hey, let's get you guys in the shelter? Or is it just like you're good to do whatever?
Well, unfortunately,
yeah,
the city doesn't they don't do much.
Okay.
They do keep the porta potties out.
All right.
That keeps down the hips.
When's the last time this place was swept? You know?
You have to answer that one.
It was a minute ago.
The inconsistency between the corrupt nonprofits, they get billions of dollars, and the nonprofits who are actually helping people, they get pennies, if that. Isn't that weird? The ones that are
That's
enabling,
not weird. That's how it is, so that they still get the other people still get their money. You
that's
know what
the
I mean?
industry.
Like that's the industry, of course.
They call it the homeless industrial complex.
To live half comfortable, you have to be based on two incomes. Two incomes, easy, and that's the only way.
Two incomes.
Two incomes.
Right now, you guys are doing better than the city.
Yeah.
Some people are working.
Means a lot.
That's America. How's that idea of America working for us? I'm going to show you this next video. This is Philadelphia. More specifically, this is Kensington neighborhood. I want you to think of blocks, maybe a half mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile square, maybe a mile square now. And this is a drug-free enforcement zone. This is zombies. Go ahead and play this, Nick. This is zombies. I filmed a documentary there. There were thousands of those people. Flesh-eating diseases, prostitution, drugs, shooting up drugs. You know what the police did? While they're selling drugs and they're shooting up drugs, they run from one OD to the next, shooting them up with Narcan. And then they mark them. Because at 7 Narcan shots, they just let them die. That's America. That's our idea of America, Vivek. Look at what we've become, America. I'm going to show you Seattle. This is when you think of Seattle, Nick, just 1 second. When you think of Seattle, what do you think of? You think of downtown, right? And you think of the water, the Pacific Ocean. You think of harbors. You think of a lot of greenery, coffee shops. It's pretty. No, I want you to see what Seattle looks like now and see how much prostitution is on every corner. What the hell's going on in America? I have this video that I've played before on my show, but I feel compelled to play it again. I call it the 3 Dead Cities. And it's powerful. It's about a minute and a half long, but it's worth it. Look at what has happened to the United States of America. And this is every city, almost every metropolitan city in America in a blue state. Go ahead and play this, please, Nick.
The 3 most dead cities in the USA, everyone is fleeing. Number 3, St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis lost over 77,000 residents in just 10 years, becoming America's fastest shrinking city. It has a violent incident rate of 87 per 100,000 people, over 15 times the national average. Over 25% of homes sit abandoned, and some neighborhoods look like entire zombie movie sets. There are parts so empty that in a 2023 survey, less than 1 person per acre was recorded living there. Number 2, Detroit, Michigan. Detroit crashed from 1.85 million people to just 620,000, wiping out 2/3 of its population like a ghost wave. The city has over 70,000 abandoned buildings, so many that experts say it would take 40 years to tear them all down. 50% of adults struggle with basic reading, and the car insurance costs here are so extreme, the average bill is higher than some monthly rents. In some areas, homes for $1 still sit untouched for years, overtaken by trees and wild animals. Number 1, Gary, Indiana. Gary fell from 178,000 residents to under 66,000, losing more people than entire small countries. Today, over 30% of the city is abandoned wasteland, with schools, malls, and even entire neighborhoods left frozen in time. In 2024, real estate surveys found more stray animals than children living in some areas. What do you think is the main cause of this issue? Let us know in the comments.
We know what the main cause of this issue is. Anti-Americans, third worlders being brought into America, and the selling out of the United States of America. We didn't used to be like this. America has a very unique characteristic in the way we think. We think that things that are happening right now have always happened, and that's not true. Think about those cities that I just showed you. And think about the cities in foreign lands that are thriving in China, in Russia, in Japan. And look at us. Prostitution, drug dealing, murders, rapes, abandoned buildings, 70,000 abandoned buildings. Nick, can you please pull up this next? I want you to see this. This is households with no incomes. Okay. This is not some far right. Oh, that's propaganda. No. This is from the US Census. Okay. Top 10 states by number of households with no income. You guessed it. Top California. They have 3.1 million households that have no income. Look at these red states too. Florida, 2.6 million. Texas, 2.4 million. New York, 2 million. Pennsylvania, 1.4. Georgia, 1 million. Households with no income. And you're asking me, well, JJ, I don't understand how we don't have any money. What the hell don't you understand? You got about 1 in 4-ish households in America have no income. That means the other 3 of us are paying for the loser family down the street that refuse to work. Saw a homeless guy on the street the other day. My son and I were driving by. I said, that guy's a piece of trash, son. You don't know why, son? He's about my age. He's younger than me, isn't he? Yep. He looks pretty damn fit, doesn't he? As we drive around this street, son, not the city, the street, like within 4 blocks. Let's you and I count how many help wanted signs do we see? Saw 4 or 5. Why can't that guy go work 40 hours at one job and 40 hours another, have 80? I asked my son that. I said, your son went back into law enforcement, so I'm working 50, 60 hours a week because of overtime. Then I come back and I do 5 shows a week. Each show takes about 3 hours. 2-hour prep, an hour for the show. 2-hour prep, hour for the show, a little bit change, getting it pumped out to where it needs to go. Not talking about any other time, managing my socials, writing another 3 hours, I would say, research and writing 2 or 3 articles a week on Substack and my website. So what's that? Even let's just say I do 50, let's just say I do 55 hours at regular job and another 20. I'm at 75. Before I even get into like, I need to maybe write, someone asked me to do a speech. Someone asked to write an article for Daily Wire. I mean, not Daily Wire, God forbid, Daily Caller or something like that. The Gateway Pundit. I'm at 80 hours. Why am I going to work my ass off to try to better my family and me and use my God-given ability? But these jackasses don't work. Someone going to explain that to me? How I can do 80 hours a week-ish and you can't even do a part-time job? And then they steal my money. They steal 50% of it over state, local taxes, income tax, property tax, gas tax, sales tax, car tags. I lose 50% of my, so you just stole 40 hours of my work to give to a bunch of losers. Have you had it, America? Have you had it that not only do they steal all my money to give to people that are worthless in my country, mainly illegal aliens, and then they take the other big segment of my money and they give to foreign nationals in foreign countries. Or hell, they just give them to foreign nationals here in America. I don't know how anybody can not just be irate about what's happening to our nation. That we have illegal aliens and foreign nationals inside of our power structures. We have Americans that refuse to work because they are either illegal aliens granted refugee status, or they're just lazy, do nothing, because we've allowed them to be lazy and do nothing. And then us, the worker bees. I call us the host. We're the host that the parasites eat off of, feed and gorge themselves until they eat us alive till we're nothing except a dead group of people in a dead nation. Question I ask myself almost every day: when will it be enough? When will America wake up and say, I've had enough? I don't know. I really don't know.